So I will kind of give a 10,000-foot view of our company and what we do, and then I'm sure if there's a few questions, so we can go from there. So basically, we break our company into two parts, website and internet marketing. The first part is obviously our website. So we create websites for partners. We are a month-to-month company with a 30-day cancellation. So, a lot of times when people ask about website, they're worried about locking into year-long agreements and all this stuff. We're not that kind of a company. We come from the managed services space and technology, which is month-to-month typically, and to stay away from those year-long contracts. So we build a website. We get the content from the partners and stuff. All of our websites come with SSL certs, so they're all secure sites. We handle all the back-end stuff that people don't really know what to do with, backup, security, antivirus for their forms, make sure they don't get hacked, things of that nature. We have a 24-hour SLA for changes. So someone's one of our partners, and let's say 3 weeks later they want to add a testimonial, or they want to add a new image or a new product page, or whatever the case may be. They just send it over to our dev team. It creates a ticket in our system, and it's done. Our SLAs are 24 hours. Typically, things get done 4 to 6 hours, just depending on when they come in. But even if they come in on a Sunday night, they're done by Monday morning. So that's kind of the website portion of it. And then the internet marketing portion of it, we have a stats package on the back end so they can see how many people are coming to their website, what pages are they landing on, what pages do they go, if they go to the home page and then they go to a service page and they go back to the home page, kind of shows them, where they go on the website. So it gives them, and how long they were on each page. So it gives them an idea of what maybe is really, letting the people, are they sticking around and reading the content, or are they clicking a page and then clicking right off it, things of that nature. And then we also have, it's what we call Axion Mail. You guys are probably familiar, like a constant contact, things of that nature. They have access to an email system, so they can send out email blast. We create holiday emails that they can send out, whether it's St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, New Year's, Christmas, you name it. They can let people know they have a special sale going on, or an office closure, or anything like that. So that's kind of the program in a nutshell. All of our websites are built on WordPress. We're not using any funky homegrown system here. All the partners get a login to the back end of the website. If they wanted to go in there and make a change, they can. But again, that's what they're paying us for. They just send us any of the changes, and we make all the changes for them. And probably as a salesperson, as far as websites, your biggest issues you're going to deal with people are like, they have a website guy and it might take a week for them to get an answer back or something done, or they're paying on a per change basis. That's how our program differentiates ourselves. All the changes are included, and our SLAs are 24 hours. So they're not waiting long for anything like that. So that's kind of the 10,000-foot view of the program.
Great. And then, Brian, I know you and I were exchanging emails last week. We had a couple of questions, and I believe I did add those questions to our FAQ section. But somebody had asked a really great question, which I actually, up to that point, we didn't have that highlighted in here. But number of pages. I know some folks need, a lot of different pages. Some of them, are okay with some of the general ones, home, about, FAQs, reviews page, stuff like that. But maybe talk a little bit about what normally, or what the normal amount of pages are that you guys originally build, and kind of how as far as that can go.
Yeah. So typically, when we build the websites, they're usually built with 8 pages. You have your home, your about us, your blog, a blog page, and typically 5 service pages. That's a typical website when it's first built. Now, we don't recommend any more than 12 to 15 pages. And the reason why I say this is that, especially in the computer industry, but with a lot of companies do the same things that other companies do. So what differentiates them from other people? And the thing that differentiates them is going to be themselves. You want a good-looking website that describes a lot of your services and gives them an idea of what you do. Your main goal is to have them call you. You're not Amazon. You're not, eBay. Your website's not meant to, strictly just sell, typically. Most websites are informational, and most websites' goal is to get them to call you so you can sell yourself and then sell your services on top of that as well. So we don't recommend more than 12 to 15 pages. Now, they can have 20 to 30 pages that they want. Because landing pages, you don't really count landing pages as a page. And so I should specify that. On your website, when you're clicking links and menu items and stuff like that, typically want 12 to 15. But you might have 30 or 40 landing pages on the back end that you use for special marketing campaigns and things, special holiday campaigns that you might do. You don't really count those as pages. Those are all included. There's no extra charge for that. But if someone came to us and say, we want these 20 service pages and stuff like that, I'd have to look at them, and unless they're totally different and they can't combine a couple, I tell them it's probably not in their best interest to do that. Again, I'll go back to the computer industry, and here's just an example. Someone had a separate page for antivirus, a separate page for email, a separate page for some other thing. And instead of having 3 separate pages, because they all kind of go along the same kind of email type service, we combined the 3 into 1, talked about email services, and then under email services, you have a section about AV, you have a section about hosted email, things of that nature. And it takes your pages down from 3 to 1, which helps because people aren't going to typically click 20 different pages on a website. And so you're always thinking about the end user and the ease of the end user to get the information that they want. Again, the main information is your phone number. You got to have it in a highlighted area. It's always in the top right corner of all of our websites. When you scroll down any of our websites, the menu bar follows you. So that phone number is always prominent. Contact forms, that's all included, all that stuff. But back to the page question, typically on any websites, you don't want more than 12 to 15 pages.
Okay, great. And I really love that you pointed out about that top bar, right, the menu bar, because we're very big on our training here in Vince's 5 Pillars of the Internet. We're always really kind of critiquing business owners' websites that we come across, and giving them suggestions. And I know working with Vince and learning from him, and many of you on this call that have spent time talking with Vince and us on some of those advanced training calls, the website is, if not the most important, one of the most important things a business owner should be keeping in mind when they're just trying to promote their business. And Brian, you pointed out something very important, that number, right? We want them to be able to find out their telephone number, where they're located, how to get a hold of them, all around that call to action, so that it can convert them into a phone call or convert them into some sort of, maybe purchase from the website. But having that information at the very top is really important. And I actually have, we have 7 template or example websites that you guys had kindly sent over to us a while back. And I have some of those open, and I highly suggest that everybody goes and kind of takes a look at some of these example sites that they do. And you can find that in the description tab. Right here you'll see 7 examples. And then it's also in the training tab, so it's in a couple of different places here. But I'll just...
Hey, Jeremy, why don't you click on a few? Yeah, there you go. Let's just look at them.
So, these are some of the templates. Colors can be changed, and Brian, maybe I'll let you talk here in a minute again, about as far as the color and the overall layout. But you guys have some good examples here. So this is one of them. I really like those blues. We have another one here, kind of some orange.
Jeremy, if I can interrupt, colors, don't even look at the colors. Just look at the layout and design. So we always base the colors off their logo. So when we have a new client, they upload so when we get a new client, they fill out an onboarding form. Takes 10, 15 minutes to fill out. We take that onboarding form, and that's what we build the initial site off of. They upload their logo, things of that nature. So when we get their logo, we always base, our designers kind of base the different colors, the menu bar, different sections around their logo. So it matches their marketing, it matches their company scheme. But after that's done, if someone comes back and says, I don't like the menu bar, that teal green, I want it to be this color, we can change the color very easily. Each little piece of color, it can be changed like that. So when you're looking at those designs that we sent over, the main thing is looking, and when you're talking to clients, because we get this question all the time, and it almost drives me insane. My company has nothing to do with orange. That's fine. Yeah, the orange, it's just, I tell people, just look at the layout and flow and design of the website. That's what you're looking at. Colors, content, images, all that stuff's changeable.
Good. Thank you for putting that out there because that is something that's important. I know a lot of times, like you were saying, Brian, when somebody sees something, I think they automatically think like, well, this is what I have to choose from. These are just examples.
Exactly.
Colors and everything change. So, with that being said, there are 7 examples, and I'm kind of scrolling through some of them. It is the design. Some of them, some businesses may need some sort of, free consultation or, schedule an appointment. So those types of things can be integrated as well, as you see in this example. Here's another website example, kind of with that same box there.
Oh, is it locked?
Oh, we got some background noise here. Let me handle that. Okay. So these are the 7 that we have right now, and Brian, maybe you guys have some more, but this is what we have. And overall, all these websites, the design, the format, they're beautiful. I love every single one of them. It just to each their own. Like Brian was saying, when you're working with a new client, they're in this general onboarding form, which I have up on my screen now. They're asking for some, general information here. What's your logo? Because I know I'm going to guess what happens, Brian, is that when you guys get this onboarding form, you're automatically looking at the logo. You guys are taking a look at their current website, and you're already getting a feel for content, for their colors, their logo. So you guys probably already have a pretty good idea of where that build needs to start when it comes to color and design and content. So you kind of your guys' first offer up to the customer, here's what we've put together for you so far. What do you think? Generally, I think they're going to be pretty impressed that you guys have already made that much progression just off of this short onboarding form. Am I right on that?
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of yeah. So if you're looking at the onboarding form, obviously we take the logo, we build the colors around the logo, we upload the logo. If you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see they can pick 5 different services. Whether it's whatever the company is, and I'll just take a computer. They might have break fix. They might have selling computers, computer sales. They might have services, things of that nature. So we're going to take those services that they list that they do, and we're going to build the pages off of those services. Now, we won't put content in there yet. So what we'll do is we'll send the client, and by the way, it's something I didn't mention. Once we get the onboarding form, the client gets a link to the website from us in 24 to 48 hours. Okay? But that's the initial link. So we might say, okay, so we built the website off the onboarding form. You have these 5-page services that you want to offer. There's nothing in here yet. Send us the content that you want, because some people want to use the exact content they have on their current website, or some people want to do something totally different. That's the reason why they're doing this. They want to change up the content. We ask it just to send it to us in a Word doc, and so it's formatted the way that they envisioned it, and then we'll create the page or insert it into the page as necessary. But a lot of times it's good for people to see it on a website first, and then they might make some more changes from that. So typically we'll use that onboarding form. We'll take the services. We'll create the pages so they're placeholders so they kind of see how it lays out. And then they'll start sending us images. Example, the car wash company. He's going to start sending us some images and stuff like that, and some content for some special days that they do and some other things that we're going to create some pages for. So it's real easy to do that.
Excellent. And, speaking about content, we do have an option, or I should say Brian's company has an option for content. Now if it's an existing website, somebody already has it, and they're looking for a fresh new look, they kind of want to get up to date with their website, it's an old one, whatever the case may be. A lot of times the content, is okay on their website, and we can just transition that content over into the new build like Brian was just talking about. But there are other situations where somebody may not have content, and they're not really a good writer, and they're not really sure what they want their message or their content to have. So through Vertical Axion, there is a one-time content writing option for $595. They'll go in and custom write 5 pages in total, a home page, an about page, 3 product or service pages, and up to 800 words per page. So maybe you want to just talk a little bit about the content writing and what that offers and how that looks to you guys.
Yeah, so when someone wants us to write content for them, the first thing we do, we send them a small form that has 4 questions. Well, what's the main subject of the service page or the page that you want? We'll ask what the bullet points, because even though people can't write it, they're going to know bullet points of what they want to say about it. They're going to know their business better than we do. So they're going to give us some bullet points of things that they want to hit on. And then they're going to maybe give us some examples of some articles or some other companies that might provide that service. So then we can go ahead and do the research and then build a page around the research that we do, and make sure that we hit on those bullet points that they want us to write on. I mean, someone could say, hey, go write an email about gardening. Well, great. What about gardening? There's 500 different things that have to do with gardening. So that's why we want them to give us some bullet points of the things they want us to hit on to make sure that we meet their expectations and create a page that they want and they're happy with. If not, then we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So they fill out this form. We send it over to our writing staff. Our writers write it. We take a look at it. Then we send it to our editors. The editor takes a look at it. Sends it back to us. We do one more look over it, and then we'll send it to the client, and we'll add it to the website once they give us the okay.
Perfect. Now, Vince and Brian, both of you guys may be able to, you guys both have obviously a lot more experience in website creation than I do. What does, out of curiosity, I mean, what does something like that typically cost with another company? I'd imagine it gets up there.
Vince might know some. It all depends. Sometimes you can go find to be honest with you, can go find a college writer, but you get what you pay for, right? So it all depends on. I've seen companies out there charge $150, $200 for 500-word pages. I've seen companies out there charge $50, but their work isn't as good. So it's just, I always tell people, someone says, hey, I want you to write 5 pages for us. I said, well, wait, if you want just 1 page, let's write that first and see if we're on the right track before we spend too much time. And so, because people are very finicky about what goes, content that goes on their website. Obviously, they can't write it. That's why they're hiring someone else. But sometimes writers are too technical, or sometimes writers are too lackadaisical almost in their writing. So it's hard to find someone that you're comfortable with. I'm sure Vince has gone through the same things that we have.
Yeah, Vince.
And it's kind of like what the market can bear. And if you're lucky, you might get someone that's lower end. But as far as pricing goes, this is very competitive pricing. Jeremy, can you scroll down a little bit? Because really building a great website, a lot of it has to do with content and getting the right verbiage on there, not too much, being worded correctly. Some people just don't have the ability to do it. So that price right there is a very fair deal. Like I'm dealing right now with a person I might be bringing in that has no content at all, a brand new company. That's where this really comes into play. So, because some companies have already written their stuff. So it gets down to getting good content, the pictures, things like that. So this is a very good price for that.
All right, good. And then I know you had kind of touched a little bit earlier, Brian, on edits and customization. So, we can use content as an example, or just the website build in general. But when customers want edits down the line, whether it be on their content, new images, obviously creation of new pages. I think you said that they can email to the dev team. Is there also somebody like if they I noticed that in this one paragraph I want to swap out this sentence because now we're doing something a little bit different. Is there somebody they can call real time and just have them actually go in and edit that content or swap out an image? How easy is that to do?
No, yes and no. So basically, they will have access. If they really want to just change one word on a page, it's very easy. They can log into the back. They get access to the back end of the website. They can go to that page and change a sentence or a word real quick and be done. They can do that in 5 minutes and it's done. We ask that all changes go through our dev team because it creates a ticket in our system, so we can always go back if we need to. And there's not one dev team member that just works on their specific site. It could be any of our dev team members. Now, they can call me at any time. I'm the account manager. If there was an emergency, I can log in and make a change, absolutely. But we request that it goes through the proper channels, goes through the dev team, creates a ticket. Typically, it's not an emergency like that. There's been very few cases. A couple of companies that, were on the road doing a show that we work with, and they were at a show and they needed something added to their website immediately. They called me, and we got it done for them right away. Other than that, if someone wants to add a sentence because they're doing something differently, they don't need it in 5 minutes. 24, and that's why our SLAs are 24 hours. It's 1 day. And typically, like I said, everything gets done within 4 to 6 hours anyways. But if it's an emergency, yes, they can call me, And as long as I can do it, absolutely, it doesn't, I'll do it for them. But again, they will have access if they need to change a few words or anything like that. They can do that themselves in 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's really important. I think I forgot about the fact that they have access to their own website on the back end, so they need to go in, change a sentence, change a word. What about images?
Yes, they can change, depending on where the images are. If the images are within the page, yes, they can. If they need to change the main image on the home page, like the top part in some of those designs, they have to go through us because you need admin rights to do that. And we don't give admin rights for security reasons. That's why our websites don't get hacked. That's why there's no issues with our websites on that front. So they'd have to send that over to us. But again, they just send it over to us. If they need to know what size it is specifically, they can email our dev team and say, hey, I want to change the picture on the home page. What size do you need from me? We'll give them the size that it is, and then they can send us the correct image, and we'll update it from there.
Perfect. All right, take maybe a little break here and see if there are any questions out there. And some of you are on mute, so I can unmute a couple of you. But questions, and I might actually just pick on a couple of people too. All right. Hey, Donnie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, I just curious if you wouldn't mind just saying a couple of words. I know we recently were working with you and a client and one of your clients, which is a car wash that Brian already mentioned. Maybe just a little bit of your experience, working so far with us, and also with your customer that got the website or getting the website built through Vertical Axion.
Yes, it's been absolutely phenomenal, to tell the truth. I mean, this guy, he used to own the car wash, and he sold it, and then he came back. And I've been working with him for, maybe 15 years. But anyway, he is so stoked and so excited about, because Vince and Jeremy and we were all on the call, pointed out, the things that he was missing in his website, first of all. And then he had no reviews so it turned his total perception around. And last week he said, this was our fastest week of the year. And I said, well, okay, we got to get with the video people to get the rest of it, the ball rolling, And he said, I know. So they're supposed to get together tomorrow. So, but yeah, it's exciting. It's phenomenal. I'm super stoked. I just think it's great.
And in your experience, how easy was it for him to jump on board with a new website?
Well, is that you, Vince?
No, this is he's here.
I know, kidding. No, he was just, when I first approached him, he says, well, I spend $500 a month on Google. And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. And I said, what does that produce? He said, well, I get to go on there. And I said, okay, let me tell you about it. So anyway, long story short, we got on the phone with them, the three of us, and it's actually several other people, especially Jean. Jean, are you there?
Yes, I am.
She's my mentor. I love her. And, he just, it's everything made sense to him. All I had to do. And so I've taken that and, compiled it into a ball. And, now when I go out and talk to people, I just basically tell them, hey, this is pretty simple. Does it make sense? And, everyone that I'm talking to is like, yes.
Well, thank you, Donnie. I just wanted to have you talk for a minute because I know you're still a little bit new to the Agora family, and one of the clients that you introduced to Vince and I and to Agora really needed some help with his website. And
absolutely.
Brian's team's doing that for him as we speak. It was last week or something, that we started working with Lee, and it sounds like Brian and his team are already making really good progress. Very, very easy conversation to have. I really suggest those of you on this call that haven't listened to the advanced training that we did, it's in the virtual campus under 5 pillars. In the advanced training, we talk a lot about the websites and the importance of that. And from a price perspective, too, there was no balking at the price point at all. $159 a month for a website. That includes the hosting, which I know we didn't really mention at any point during this call so far, but that includes the hosting. Those hosting fees can range, $20, $30, dollars a month and beyond that. Vince and Brian, you guys probably have a little bit better feel on what just hosting alone sometimes costs for a website. So my point in calling on Donnie was just everybody on this phone to hear how easy it was, to approach somebody, and we took a look at the website. He needed some help, and we're doing that for him now, and it was very, very affordable. He had no issues with the $159 a month. In fact, I think that was probably very surprising to him that he was going to get a brand new website the way that he wanted it, with his pictures, with his messages, or his message to his audience for $159.
And new photos, and yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vince, is there anything, or Brian, that you guys would like to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to add a couple things. That it cannot be underestimated how important a good, up-to-date website is for the representation of a company. I can't tell you how many businesses that I go to, I look at their website, and I see so many things wrong with it. And Jeremy, if you could, let's show them where that training's at. I highly recommend everyone go to this one training. If you go to the virtual campus real quick, I just want to show you where this is found so we have it on the video. In the virtual campus under the 5 pillars of the Internet, scroll down to the bottom. But I would go through this whole thing, and if you look in here, this will kind of get into detail. That's actually the call where I do a lot of advanced training. And then, Jeremy, if you can scroll up a little bit. Right there, website number 1. One thing about the website, actually, Jeremy, go up a little farther. Go to the 5 pillars of the Internet. And then scroll down. Scroll down a little farther. But I highly recommend you go through here. But every company, keep going down farther. A little farther, keep going down, right there. Okay. But go back up, right. Yeah, right there. Okay. So if you look at this, I have the website in the middle here. The 5 pillars of the Internet, you have your website, reviews, video, search engine, social media. But the website is the destination. It's where everything should be pointing to. Some things pointed to it, but you want your social media pointing to it, reviews, videos, when they click on the search engine, it's supposed to take them over here through ads or through SEO. But when people come to your website, it's very, very important, one, how it looks. I'll just read some of the facts here. It takes 0.05 seconds for users to form an opinion about your website. Your website's first impression makes or breaks you. 75% of users admit to making judgment about a company's credibility based on their website design, meaning how it looks represents you. And then the functionality, making sure certain things are there. The 3 most important things people look for: the phone number, your hours of operation, and your address. Google tells us this. Most companies hide that information. You want to make sure you have a call to action on that website. SEO will go out. We have another company that handles that. A compelling design. You want to make sure it's mobile friendly. Does this look good on a cell phone? And offers. I didn't put it in here because I have it up on the review section, but the facts also tell us that if you have 20-plus reviews on your website, you're going to get 88% higher conversion. Also, if you have video on your website, they'll stay 60% longer. So when I look at a website, I will start looking for the phone number, the hours, the look and feel. I look for video. I look for reviews. I look for offers. I look where things are placed. I look how easy can I navigate through it. We have the Sotellus product. This call isn't about that, but Vertical Action works with all these other products we have. They can all integrate right into it. One of the questions that I asked Vertical Action, I said, can you work with these products? And I asked them, and so all of our products work together. when we were talking to that one business owner, what sold him is I looked at the look and feel of his website, and I looked at it, and he had a bad picture, in my opinion, on the front. There was no call to, there was really no offers I could tell. There was no video. There was no reviews. He said he was, and he said he had been very successful and he had taken this company over. And when I mentioned all those things and I threw the facts in there, he said, "You're right. You're totally right." And so that's actually what sold him, right, Donnie?
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. And I try to do it in a way where it's not a put down or me, because you still want to be, you want to be honorable, how you do it. But most of them agree, and this is one of the strong points of Agora is internet marketing and vertical action. Some of these companies either don't have a lot of money or they don't want to spend maybe $1,500, but for $159 a month, it's a great deal. Hosting can be up to $20. Anyways, they're going to pay. If you got someone that wants a website, they're going to pay $20, up to $10 to $20 a month in hosting. They're not even getting as good as hosting as they get with vertical action. So, and then we went in and we said, hey, you need videos for that website. You need reviews for that website. And we were able to go sell 5 videos. So tell us, right? And we put this all together. But the website, the reason I want to show you this picture here is the website is the hub. Everything starts, finishes, ends. It's the destination. Every business needs to have a great website. Jeremy, can you go back to vertical action? Over into the marketplace. There you go. So I just want to show you that. If you haven't listened to that training, I would go over there and definitely listen to that. Because when you go in and you talk to a business owner, it's very easy. And then here's some website examples, and you just click through here, and you go, look, we get you a website. And one of the things I really like about Brian Vertical Action is how fast they are. So for a business owner, they don't have time, right, to have their website down. It's crucial to have that website up, running, and functional. And one thing I really like about Vertical Action is how prompt they are. You send something over, how fast they get to you. I've never seen anyone as fast as Axion is putting a website up and doing it right. And you send a change over, it's almost done immediate. I send a change over. We're working on another one of our clients, and then I sent over, right, it's done. I'm like, wow, and I really like the speed and efficiency and the quality that they work at. Brian, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's what our main goal when we first started this program was to differentiate ourselves, because there's a lot of people who do websites and things of that nature. Yeah, we have a few other products like the Axion Mail and the stats and stuff that we add into is our service and our speed. That's the biggest complaint you're going to hear. People usually say, hey, I sent something over to my web developer and it's been a week, or it takes like 5 days to do. And that's one of our main goals is get it done right. We don't want someone to keep coming back and forth. This and that. If we need to, we'll ask a question. We don't mind replying back saying, hey, you said this, and we'll tell them. From a marketing standpoint, from a website development standpoint, we'll say, it's probably not going to look good here, but we think you should maybe possibly do this. Would that be okay? And typically they'll say yes, and they'll want to, we'll do it. They'll see it, and if they want to change, we can change it. It's all included. Doesn't matter. So we don't just make any change that someone wants just for the sake of changes. If it's going to look really bad or be wrong, we're going to tell them. But we'll give them an option. We'll tell them why, and we'll give them another option. So we're not just saying no, we're not going to do this for them, type of a thing. Now, if they hold firm that no, we want this, well, then that's fine. We've said our 2 cents, and some people are like that, and that's how it is. But we'll make sure we're going to try to deliver the best website as possible to match their goals.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I know when I first submitted one client over, you guys were like, Vince, we're missing this, we're missing that. And you guys were actually on me and like getting stuff to you. You guys were hindered more by our speed of getting the stuff to you, and you guys were getting the job done.
It does us no good. It doesn't do anyone good, people paying for something they're not using. So, we want to get the site up and live. Even if it's not to perfection and they're still, tinkering with it, get the site live, especially coming from someone who doesn't have a website or has a really crappy website. Get the website up and running and make changes as you go along. that way that, they have something up and new and go from there.
When I teach the 5 pillars of the internet, I say pillar number 1 is website, pillar number 2 is reviews, pillar number 3 is video, pillar number 4 is social media, pillar number 5 Google. The reason I say it that way is because it gets into your branding, visibility, and then promotion. A lot of people will try to do promotion, maybe spin ads on Facebook, and if you don't have a great foundation, which is actually your website, then you're wasting money. Actually, I know a guy that was spending over $2,000 a month on Facebook ads and wasn't getting any results. When I looked at his website, he had no conversion tactics, no reviews, no video, no call to action, no offers. And then I also looked at his reviews, and he had several bad reviews. And I said, no wonder you're not getting the action. So you're right. They've got to get their website up. It's got to look good. And then from there, you build out your reviews, your video, you start tying everything together. But it all starts with the website. So you're right. If they don't have one, you want to get it up there as quick as possible. It's, if you're not, who was it? I think it was Bill Gates. If you're not on the internet, you're not in business. If you're going to, and the website is your business card. And if you don't have that in a solid presentation, I'm actually amazed how many businesses don't, or they don't have a great site, or non-functioning, or it's missing things. So we wanted to have this call because we wanted to show the importance of the website and the value that Vertical Action brings to the table. For this price point, it's a no-brainer for a business owner, and the speed in which they can get it done and the quality. Jeremy, are you going to add something in there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you were talking about reviews, and I think anybody that's on this call and listening to this call as a recording later has heard us talk about Sotellus. And just one thing I wanted to point out, as Vince already mentioned, Vertical Action is compatible and integrates very easily with some of our other core offers here, and one of them being Sotellus. So that widget that Sotellus has, it's on our website. It's on any customer that we have. It's on their website. So it's also very easy for them to add in that Sotellus widget in case anybody was curious or had been thinking about that. Yes, the Sotellus widget goes onto that website very easily. We just get them the code. They put it on. I sent the code over to Brian and the dev team for the car wash. I told them, I said, hey, this client has this review marketing system, Sotellus, and all they said was, perfect, send us the code. That was all. So, that's important, because customers might have other things, other services or things they want to tie to their website. And it's important to know that Vertical Action is flexible with those things, and it's quick. It's easy.
Yeah, also with the video, Ron will post that video up there, and all you need is an embed code, and boom, you got video on your website that fast. And what's great about these is one of the things when we were putting together Agora and the 5 pillars of the internet is we had hunted and shopped around for just some of the best products out there, and that they would work together and it would be affordable for the business owner, where a business owner come in and get everything they need. Also, another thing that we like about this, there is no contract on this, so they got to perform, but this is also a residual product. So when you tie this in with all the other products, this adds a nice residual income. You get enough customers built up. So there you go right there, some of your residual. But you start building up enough clients and you add the other products in there, your residual per client can go up really good.
Absolutely. It is residual. So as you guys are seeing right here, the commissionable value on any website sale through Vertical Action produces $45.56 in commissionable value. And then directly to the advisor is $20.50 a month. So not bad, $20 a month for a website that you didn't really have to do a whole lot of work on it. You take them to the marketplace, you have them check out. There's a simple onboarding form that gets filled out, your logos, answering a few of the required fields, getting some information over to Vertical Action, and then they take over. They do the build, they do the customer service, the edits, anything that the customer needs on their website from that point. Vertical Action and their dev team are going to handle it. So you can go out and sell, new websites $159 a month and, $20 a month in residuals for each website, and you're doing very little work for it. I think from a commission standpoint, it's pretty good.
Are there any other questions out there?
Hey, Vince, it's Jean.
Hi, Gene.
Hey, I just wanted to say that, I'm really impressed with this. There's a ton of companies and people out there that do websites, but what you guys have just relayed for information in regards to this company through Agora is really impressive. I mean, they're responsible, they're honest, they're expedient, price point is incredible. I mean, it just makes sense. And you can hear your genuine testimony for them, So impressed, very impressed.
Yeah, you'll find that there's been, when it comes to internet marketing, there's a number of people that have been burned in one way or another, or speed, or, and I'm not saying there's not like a lot of good other companies out there, but, when we're partnering up with Agora, we're looking for great customer service, and I've really been impressed with Vertical Action's customer service. Even, I've sold in the customer I work with, and, they just do an incredible job, and for what they have to offer, the price point, and for how valuable, because this is one thing, I can't tell you how many people, maybe they got a website, like I'm dealing with another customer and they have a website, but their web guy will not give them the information, and they actually had to get a new web domain. They were just dishonest people that was controlling their website. So it's really crucial who helps you manage your website for a business owner, because the website's so important. And I've seen many business owners burned when it comes to their website, and it's something you don't want to play around with. Or some people try to do it themselves. I've seen that. These do it themselfer jobs, and the website looks terrible, and then it reflects on their company. So it's not something you want to. You want to be very careful who does your website and who controls it and the look and feel. And I like that about Brian and those guys over there, that they'll also advise them. They understand the importance of look and feel, so they're not going to let, a junky website go up there. They're going to help the customer come up with a really good website and keep them on target.
So Vince, hey, it's Gene again. So
yeah.
I don't want to pin anybody down on this, but obviously it sounds, pricing-wise, it sounds, like perfect. But if you were to compare it to somebody else with the same quality of service and what they're actually doing for the website, what kind of pricing comparison would we be looking at?
Well, most people will charge, when it comes to a website, I've seen people charge about $1,500 all the way to about $5,000, right, for a website, a setup. That doesn't include their hosting, which you're going to have to do their hosting on top of that. And it doesn't include potentially the pictures, the video, all the extra stuff. What's good about Vertical Action is the reason why this model works is because that's a one-time fee, right? So you might make a commission on that. But where this is a $150, and this is for the customer that doesn't want to drop $1,500 down, or $2,000, or maybe $2,500. Depending on what some people, when it comes to internet marketing, it's kind of what the market can bear. When I first got involved, and for the same exact thing, like even Brian said, that you can get a college age guy do it. May not necessarily be as good, or that guy may not have the customer support when you need them, or things like that. But Vertical Action, you can't totally compare it with other things, because normally people just want to charge you $1,500, and this is the ability for a business owner to not have to drop that much money down, and they can just budget out $159. Now, yes, they're going to pay more, obviously, in the course of 1 to 2 years, but some businesses don't care, and this also provides you guys with the residual income. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Hey, and one other thing, I'm just going to jump in on that as well. It goes back to the old hardware as a service methodology as well. They're paying for a service. It's a tax write-off. It's not a lump sum. And then usually with those websites, Vince, that's just for to build the website. And if they need changes, ongoing changes and stuff, it's a per hour basis or anything like that. But yes, I mean, building the website, the pricing was correct. But then don't forget, you got to add on changes. If they ever want to add a testimonial or make a change in 6 months or add a service page, whatever, they're going to usually be paying that guy an hourly rate if that guy's still in business, things like that.
And normally the per hour rate is between $50 to $100 an hour. just for, and, so they can end up, hey, I want to change this, I want to change that. They could be getting dinged for $50 to $150 on top of that anyways. And then they paid the $1,500. They want to do changes, and they're also their hosting plan is, you can't get a better hosting plan basically than these guys. So the security on that site, and then the changes, when you put all, and plus all the extra stuff that they add with it. They add a lot of other marketing tools and different things with it. So it's a very, very awesome deal. Troy, were you going to ask a question?
Actually, I was going to make pretty much the same point as he was just making, that most business owners, most businesses are probably going to make some changes once a year, once every other year. So, having a one-time, having your website done one time isn't really as practical, really, anyway, as having it done over months like this.
And it looks like there was a question up here from Ralph about contract. No, the beauty about this is we're not locking them into a contract. There's no setup fee. So when they pay the $159, it's $159, no setup fee. They need a 30-day cancellation, and that's it. So once they give the cancellation, wherever that lands, they got 30-day, and then pay their final $159, and they're out of it. So what's the beauty of this is it has to perform. It's got to be good. They got to be happy with it. Usually, and one thing with internet marketing also is a lot of companies want to put people in these long contracts and then bind them up. But that usually is a sign that, well, sometimes they want to make money, but sometimes because they don't have good practices and they just want to keep that money rolling in. And they also want to keep control over the website. I've seen some people get very weird. Some companies get very, very weird when it comes to their website. And you want to change, you want someone to take it over, you want someone to have, it just gets crazy out there. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Jeremy, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Jeremy, you want to walk through? Why don't you walk through the contact information? Just kind of go through the, we went through a little bit. Just do a quick walkthrough there.
Yeah, sure.
And then,
so if you have a client that is interested, you talk to them about a website. It's very easy to get them set up. So the first thing that you want to do is you see right up here in the drop down, you got the $159 per month. You're just going to select on that, add to cart, like I'll do right now, and you'll see it pops on over here. And then if they need content, we talked about that a little bit. If they want content, it is $5.95. It's a one-time charge, so you can add that to cart. Vertical Action, Brian's team, they'll get notification they need content, and they'll work with the customer on kind of how we discussed how the content goes. And then after they've done that, there is a onboarding form that is required that needs to be filled out. That's very important. They need that. That gets the ball rolling. I already have that open, so I'll just flip back over to that. And I tried to proceed to the next page. As you guys can see, hopefully right down here is one of 3, so there's a few pages. There are some areas that are required, so please make sure that anything with an asterisk absolutely has some sort of data in there before you proceed to the next page. And then once you're all through with that, you'll hit submit. That goes to their dev team. They get notified. They'll reach out to the customer, and they'll start everything. If you guys have questions for Brian and his team, contact information is right down here. Got the company main line as well as Brian's direct and his email. So any questions, get on the phone with the client, with them. If the client has questions, whatever it may be, that's their contact information. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple. Like I brought up earlier when I called upon Donnie, it's very easy. That's all we did with her recent client is it was added to cart, checked out, filled out the onboarding form. Brian's team, they were on it right away. I emailed their dev team saying, hey, I need this, this code needs to get put on the website, FYI. They said, hey, no problem. We'll put it on there. I also told them that there's going to be videos coming too, so expect some embed codes. They said, absolutely. Whenever you get the embed codes for the videos, send them on over. We'll put them up. They're awesome. They're on it. They respond right away. Very flexible. They're here to make sure that it gets done in a timely manner.
I agree.
So Thank you for agreeing. Because I know that's been my experience with them from day one, and and just most recently that's been the same experience with our most recent client that's decided to get a website built through Vertical Action. I've heard nothing but good things all the way around, and that's what I expect to hear every single time, because I've seen what they can do and worked with their team, and they're on it all the time. And okay, so that is pretty much it. Any questions on that, on the checkout part of it, the onboarding form?
Nope, looking good.
Okay. So last thing I want to bring up before we end the call, or maybe I should ask Brian, do you have any final comments or anything that you'd like to throw in?
Nope. Thanks for the time, you guys. Obviously, if you guys need anything, you have my contact information. Email's always the best. Call me anytime, but even if it's on the weekend nights, email me. I always have my phone on me. I usually reply right away. So just email me any questions you have. If I need to jump on a call, we can schedule a call with you and your partner if need be. Just let me know what you need.
Perfect, Brian. Really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day. Oh, wait a minute. Andy, you have a question? Are you on mute? Let me see here. You might be. No, I think you're live. Go ahead, Andy. Andy, you there? Okay, sure. There we go.
Okay, thank you. The one thing I might have missed or got confused on is they can take $159 per month and get the same service as just doing it as a one-time, for the one-time fee with the content.
No. So basically, it's $159 a month, and that comes with the website, the stats, the Axion mail, the hosting, the changes, all those things. It's $595 extra if they want us to write all the custom content. If they're having problems, they need us, our writers, to write the content. The $595 is a one-time fee. We'll write the home page, we'll write the 5 service pages and all that stuff. The About Us, we'll write all that stuff for them if they need us to. That's one time. But the website program itself is $159 a month with a month-to-month with a 30-day cancellation.
Okay. So if the business doesn't have a website, it's best to go with the custom website content add-on.
Unless they know what they want to say. I mean, a company might be a brand new company, they have no website, but they know what they want to write and say. They don't need to spend the money on the custom content. They can write the pages themselves, send it to us, and we'll create the pages off of their content. This is for people who don't have the time, or don't know how to write well, or don't know how to say what they're trying to say. And we can do it for them that way.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to.
But one thing you guys may want to. The reason we have this in here is some people will be like, no, I'll just do the $159. I'll write the information myself. But they don't do it right away, and the project gets prolonged and prolonged. And this is really important because then I've even seen people pay $5,000 for a website and never give the content, and the site never go up. And we're like, how could you spend $5,000 and not even do the site, right? And then it wasn't the web company; it was actually the owner that just didn't get the information. So we put this in here because we never want a site to not go up. When they pay, we want that site to go up as fast as possible. So, if they don't have the time, let's say they say, if it starts to lapse past a week or two, number one, Brian's going to be antsy, right? They're going to be antsy to get the job done because they don't want to be paying, and the customer can cancel too at that point. So just have them pay the $595 if they're going to delay getting the information over. Because here's another thing too: they could pay for this, and just let them know they can always go back in later and change anything. I mean, it's a virtual world. Right. It's not like it's going on print. It's virtual.
Right.
And they're not going to get charged extra for changes. So, have them come in, set the thing up, and they'll get the website up as fast as possible is the whole key here. And then if they want to, websites are a work in progress. They're always going to be worked on.
Right. But that's one of your value points is the quick turnaround.
Yes, absolutely. The quick turnaround and no charges for any changes. Or I'd say no charge. It's included in the price. Probably a better way of wording it.
Yeah, so other people nickel and dime you for every little thing, whereas you're going to take care of everything's included, which is nice.
Yeah. And the hosting. And, we're not going into a lot of detail, but there is a lot of other stuff added. Brian, much mentioned, again, some of the other things that's included with the 159, like the email newsletter or the other pages and stuff like that.
Okay. You also do
Brian.
things to ensure security as well, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if they have does that include, like, if they include a PayPal or want to pay by credit card, is anything tie into
So all the websites are secure. So all the websites come with it's called an SSL cert. So every website will be HTTPS. Okay. Which is but they're not going to be able. Now, we don't add shopping carts to the website. Now, typically, if it's an e-commerce site you need to sell, I can get with Vince and you, and we can come up with a solution for them for the e-commerce. Most people, though, will either don't like to put the e-commerce straight on the site. They're using a separate e-commerce site that we can link to. Or if they're just selling one item, they can create a PayPal, like you were saying. You can go in and create an item in PayPal and then give us the embed code, and we can create the button so they can purchase. Like if someone's just selling one book, they wrote a book or something like that, we can sell that on the website very easily. But, yeah, all of our sites are secure.
Okay, great. Yeah, the HTTPS is very good. Good. Okay.
And also that security is really important, especially when the searches, because I know Google's getting a little more stickler about it. Like sometimes I'll even go click on a page and it will say, don't go to this page, it's not safe. And I'll go come back to safety. You guys ever seen that? And
yes.
Sometimes that has to do with that code. So that code is going to become more and more important as time progresses.
Right. All right, thank you.